In this video, I will discuss why I think Zone 2 won with No Censor. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. If you are a fan of UK drill, you would know that Zone 2 and Moscow 17 are two gangs that reside in South London and have ongoing conflict with each other. So if you haven't heard No Censor, it's a drill song by Zone 2 and it's quite dark. It has this sinister tone to it. It's aimed mainly at Moscow 17, but some of the lyrics do apply to Harlem Spartans, another South London gang. Unruly Bad kind of gets the ball rolling by mentioning the incident with Knockout Ned and then later mentioning forensics for GB. Then Karma takes the song to a whole new level. What makes this section of the song captivating and the highlight in my opinion is this sound effect that plays in the background. I'm not too sure where it's originally from. People are saying it's from Sonic. The sound effect that is used over Karma's verse when he's mentioning deceased ops is the sound effect you would hear when you are playing some sort of arcade game and you would acquire a point, which I have to admit that was quite innovative on their part. Trizak's verse is another moment that gave me some pause the first couple of times I heard the song. He raps his lyrics about his cousin who goes by the moniker of Incog or SK. LR and B Goddy's verses are okay, there was nothing too crazy about what they rapped. Quingface closes out the song. He kind of mocks the passing of GB and Incog and also Harlem Spartan member SA, also known as Lats, and talks about incidents of rival gang members. Now, why I think Zone 2 won with No Censor is because the song is and will be cemented as a moment in drill history. Kind of like how Kennington where it started and AM and Skango's Mad About Bars are moments in drill history. I kind of see No Censor up there as well. I'm not saying No Censor is as good as those songs, but I believe this song will be more memorable than most drill songs. And what I mean by when I say they won is more from a musical standpoint and not what they're actually doing in the streets. No Censor is obviously a diss song aimed at Moscow 17 and Harlem Spartans to some extent. And for a diss song to gain so much traction is kind of a big thing and doesn't look good for anyone that's on the receiving end. In this case, Moscow 17 and Harlem Spartans. No Censor gets played in clubs when they was open, and it's just one of those songs that shakes the building. And to be frank, Karma's verse is the highlight of this song, and he's pretty much danced on the graves of deceased ops. And personally, I think they got lucky with this song to some degree. From listening to their songs, I hold the perception that they are responsible for the demises of GB and Lil CJ. I know a lot of people say Lil CJ wasn't Moscow 17, he was a civilian. And that's just a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down. But what I mean when I say they got a bit lucky is when it came to the demises of Incog and SA, from what I've observed and listened to, Incog was killed by a civilian and SA was killed by a 150 member, correct me if I'm wrong. So I guess the group took advantage of that. I don't want to get too much into who's actually done what and all that scoreboard talk. My point is that this song hangs over Moscow 17, and the only way they could reverse the situation is if Zone 2 were to lose one or two main members and for Moscow to make a song that is just as good or better than No Censor. That's not something I'm pushing for or hoping for. I don't champion what these men do. It's just something I believe would need to happen if they wanted to change the perception of the beef, because on the face of it, it looks like Zone 2 are winning, but I believe from a musical standpoint, they kind of won with No Censor. But those are my thoughts. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.